Okay, today we're going to be looking at sketching or graphing systems of inequalities. And so we're going to be shading. And the graphs, we know how to graph. There's 4 different types of graphs that we know. We have lines, linear. What else do we have? Absolute values, the V's. What else? Quadratics, the parabolas. What else? An exponential, kind of the curve. All right. So we know how to graph. Now, then it's a matter of when we have these less than or equal to where we shade and where the solutions are. So let me start. All right, so just like our homework, okay, it'll say graph the system, okay, which is just more than one equation. And then if there are solutions, okay, then you're going to name 2 points in the solution set. So name 2 points in the solution set. In the solution set. Okay, and I'll show you what that means in a second. Okay, so number 1, let's graph this system. Y is less than or equal to 3 minus 1/2 x, and y is greater than x plus 1. So there's our system that we want to solve. Okay, let me let you get caught up. So what are these graphs of? The parabolas, quadratics, exponential. What is this? This is a linear, that's a line, and this is a linear as well. So good, 2 lines, we can do those. All right, well, this one we could keep as is, but I usually like the x first. So I'm just going to rewrite it, just because that's the way we're used to seeing it. So I'm going to write this right above it. Y is less than or equal to, how do I rewrite this? Negative 1/2 x, negative 1/2 x plus 3. I just moved the 3 to that side. Okay, so we have this, and this is basically our system. All right, so let's go and graph it. So this, we're going to graph it on the same axes. All right, well, the top graph, first graph, well, let me ask you this before we sketch it. Is this going to be a solid line or a dotted? Solid. Why? It has an equals. What about this one? Dotted, dashed, or dotted, right? All right, so let's go to this one. These should be easy to graph. So we got to shift this thing. So how does it shift? Well, that's the slope. Do we go left or right any? No. So, but we go up 3, plus 3, up 3. So 1, 2, 3. So it didn't go left or right, so it's right there. So it goes to there. And now it has a slope. So yes, down 1 over 2. So down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, and so forth. And it's a solid line, so I'll just graph it. Oops, that should be a straight line, but it looks like that. Okay, we've done a million of those. Not quite a million, but we've done a lot of lines. Okay, so now let's graph the other one. Okay, so where does this one start? Or how does it shift? Up 1, right? 0 left and right, up 1, so there we go. And then this one has a slope of 1 over 1, so it's a slope of 1, right? And make sure you make it dotted, but up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, and then make it dotted, like that. Okay. Okay, so there's 2 ways that I look at or shade the answers. Okay, one way is I can shade, well, let's look at the first one. I shade everything, and then where it doubles up or overlaps, that's actually my solution, right? So let's look at this. We need to shade this. It says, reading from Y's perspective, Y is less than or equal to this. So this is my solid line, right? So here's my solid line. Do you think we're going to shade and don't shade yet, but y is less than. So intuition, do you think we're going to shade below or above this line? If it says y is less than. Below. Okay, so y is less than this line, so I'd shade below. I'm not going to shade it yet. And then, let's go to this one. So it's everything below there. But this one says y is greater than this dotted line. So do we shade above or below? Above. Y is greater than. So we'd shade above. So pick a point just above. So it's everything above there. Well, one way to do it is this. Okay, lightly, y is less than this line, so I just do this. It's just less than, I just do that. That's what it means to be less than. And then this one says y is greater than, so above this one. So it's greater than, so it's all right here. Greater than. And then where it overlaps, that's your solution set. So I go back and make this darker. So go ahead and shade lightly below that, above that. And your actual solution set is, I'll make it darker, go back and darken where it overlapped. So all of this, okay, that's our solution. Anything in there is a solution. Any point in there will make both equations true. So then it says, okay, if the solution is named 2 points in the solution set, there's an infinite number of points in there. So let's say negative, I don't know, negative 10, comma 1. I can guarantee that's in there, right? Clearly in there. Negative 10, comma 1. What's another point? It says name 2 points. So what's another point in that? Negative 11, comma 1. Okay. Negative 10, comma 2 is there. So there's a bunch, right? So as far as shading, you can do it this way. You can shade each one of them, right? Less than this, greater than that, and then where they overlap. Or you can just kind of keep it straight and picture where it would shade and then where it would overlap and just shade that where they overlap. It's kind of up to you. But the darker one, those are your answers. Okay. All right. Number 2. Y is greater than absolute value of x plus 1. This up. And y is less than or equal to negative x squared plus 4. All right, so let's go ahead and graph. Bless you. Okay. Well, I think for the most part, all the graphs I give you are pretty straightforward, nothing tricky. Okay, so on the V, how do I shift my vertex of the V? How does it go? Just goes up 1. So up 1. Okay, there's our vertex. And slope is up 1 over 1. Is this a dotted or a solid line? Dotted, okay. So up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. You can go up 1, back 1, back 1. Okay, so this is dotted like this, dashed. Does not include right on those. Okay, got that. Okay, I'm not going to shade this one yet, but if I had to shade, it says y is greater than that v, so do I shade above it or below it? Y is greater than. Would I shade above or below? Above. Y is greater than. Okay, I'm not going to shade this one. Okay. All right, y is less than or equal to negative x squared plus 4. All right, where do I start? Up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does it open up or down? It opens down. It's a parabola, quadratic, right? So let's open it down like this and like that. There we go. Now we shade and we got it. Then we just got to pick 2 points in there. Okay, so if I shade the top one, it's above the V, and this one, and it's below the parabola. Where would it double up? There you go. Right in there. So anywhere in there, it satisfies both. It's below the parabola and above the V. Okay. All right, so now let's pick a couple points that are in the solution set. So we can pick 5,000 if we wanted to. -1 comma 2. If it's on the line and it's dashed, it's not a solution. So how about we go -1, what's 2.1? Do we know that's in there for sure? We do. What's another one? How about 0 comma, clearly, 0 comma what? 2. 0, 2, I know it's in the solution. 0, 3, 0, 3.5, right? And there we go. Okay, but all they wanted is 2. Right? Okay, number 3. Kind of makes sense? How to shade, and it's where it overlap, solution. All right. Y is greater or equal to x squared plus 1. And y is less than -3. So let's graph that. So just good review on sketching. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and graph this quadratic. Okay, how does it shift? Just up 1, right? 0 left and right, up 1. Here it is. Does the parabola open up or down? Opens up, positive. So it looks like this, looks like this. There we go. Quick sketch. All right, so we're not going to shade it yet, but y is greater than the parabola, above or below? Above. So, but don't shade it yet because we want to shade. I usually don't shade it until I know what the solution is. So y is less than -3. What does y equals -3 look like? Horizontal or vertical? Horizontal, right? Like this. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Are you dabbing right there? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so -3. Now is this a dotted or solid? Dotted. So here's -3. Again, just to review, y equals -3. How do you know it's vertical or horizontal? One way, okay, if you go y equals -3, there it is. Does it make any sense to draw a vertical line through -3 like this? No, you wouldn't even see where you put the dot, right? So it's this way. Okay, there we go. All right, so now let's shade it. We got it. Shade the solution. So this one says y is less than -3. Why do I shade above or below? Below. Okay, so below. This one says y is greater than the parabola. Do I shade above or below? Greater than. Above. Y is greater than, so it's above. Do they double up anywhere? No. So what's our answer? There you go. No solutions. So if they don't double up, so no solutions. Those are nice. Okay. All right. Two more. Okay, number 4. And then we're going to look at one on your homework, maybe 2. Okay, this one we're going to do it on our own. Okay, so I'm going to make it super easy for you guys here. Y is less than 0. But this has three pieces here. X is less than or equal to 0. And y is greater or equal to absolute value of x minus 2. All right, so we're going to graph and shade this. So I think we know which one's vertical, which one's horizontal. So do that. So even if you're kind of confused on the shading, I think we can all graph like y equals 0, x equals 0, and this absolute value. Okay, so go ahead and start graphing. And if you can shade, definitely shade the solution. However you want to do that. So you know what y equals 0 looks like. solutions where all three of them would overlap. All three overlap. And then if we've gotten that, then take 2 points in the solution set. Okay, so y is less than 0. What does y equal 0 look like? Is it horizontal or y equals 0? Horizontal. Yeah, so draw y equals 0.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah, it'll be right on the so that's fine. Y equals 0 dotted, so yeah, just kind of make it like right above the x-axis or whatever. All three have to close.
Inside that.
That's solid. Okay. Okay. All right, let's graph this out. I see it. Some of us have the graphs, but maybe not graphed correctly. Some of us do, though. All right, so y is less than 0. So how do I graph that? Dotted line, horizontal. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, and if I had to shade, it'd be everything below here, right? Less than 0, be down below. I'm not going to shade it yet because I have shades everywhere here. So it's like this. X is less than or equal to 0. How do I graph that? How do you graph x? Oh, there you go. Okay. Solid line. So like this. I'll just go like this. There we go. That's that one. And this is x is less than 0. Do you think we shade to the left or to the right? If it says x is less than 0. To the left. So far we've got to the left of this and below that. So far it overlaps right here, right? So I guarantee there's going to be nothing out there. It's because it's got to make both true. Then we go to this one. This one shifts down 2, 1, 2, and the V opens up, right? So up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. So it looks like this, and solid, right? And then like this, that. Okay, and this one says it's greater than this V. So that's above, correct? So where is my solution? To the left, so it's below this, to the left of that, it's right there. That's your solution. Okay, so now we have to pick a point. Let's pick a point in there. -1. Okay. Would -1, 0 be a solution? Would it be? I mean, hey, it's right there. Why would it not be a solution? It's close. But, okay, it's on a line, but what type of line? Dotted line. Okay, so that wouldn't be. So how about we go -1, -0.1. How do we know for sure that that's in the shaded? We do. Okay. 0, -1. If this is on a solid, which it is, I'd say that'll work. 0, -1. -1, -0.3. Right? What about it? Okay, does that make sense? We can come up with a million points. A little smaller area, but we can come up with them. right? There's a lot of different points. All right, good. All right, last one here, number 5. Then actually we are going to look at a couple in the homework. Okay. Y is greater than 2 to the x minus 2. What type of function is that? Exponential. And y is less than or equal to negative 2x minus 2. Linear. So we've got an exponential curve and a line. All right, so let's graph this thing. All right, so this exponential graph, how does it shift? Down to, does it go left or right any?
No.
You sure? Positive?
Positive.
Good. It's good to be sure. Okay. So left and right doesn't move, but it goes down too. From where though?
0, 1.
Good. From 0, 1. Good. 0, 1. So go down to 1, 2. That's our start. That's our start. And if we had to make a horizontal asymptote, what do we do? 1 below. And I don't know if I emphasize this, but see that number right there? That's always your horizontal asymptote. This minus 2, negative 2, that's your horizontal asymptote. Works that way every single time. Okay? So there it is. And then our exponential. So looks like this and looks like that, right? There you go. Goes towards that horizontal. Okay, so then if I had to shade right now, it says y is greater than. So do I shade above or below? Above, okay. But I'm not going to just because I don't want a big mess. It's up to you though. If you shade it lightly and figure out where you're. Okay, this one is a line. How do I shift the line? Just down 2. Nothing left and right, down 2. So 1, 2, there it is. And it's a solid line. And it's a slope of negative 2. How do I do a slope of negative 2? Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Okay, so it looks like this. Solid line, like that. There we go. Now we've got to shade this solution. All right. So you said it's above the curve, but now it's also, from y's perspective, y is less than or equal to. Okay, so less than the line, so below the line, but above that. So right in this little, that's our solution. Good. Let's name 2 points. Okay, where's a point in this solution? There's 10 trillion, billion, an infinite number. Negative a million. Negative a million, comma, 1. Do we agree that that's in the solution of shade? It is a solution. What's another one?
Negative a million and 1.
Well, anything that's in the shade. So how about we do negative a million, 1, 1. Negative a million and 1, comma 1.
Yes.
We know what you're saying. Negative 10, comma 5. I'm positive that's in there as well. What does it mean that negative 10, 5 is in there? If you plug in x is negative 10, y is 5, this will be true. Plug negative 10 in there, 5 right there, this would be true. Right? Negative 10, watch. What's negative 2 times negative 10? Negative 2 times negative 10. Negative 2 times negative 10. Positive 20. What's 20 minus 2? 18. Y is 5. Is 5 less than or equal to 18? It is. So, and if you plug it in there, it makes that true as well. That's what it means to be a solution point, right? Okay. Open your homework to 8. And I want to look at a couple. Let's do number 10. Let's do number 10. incidentally, just looking at this because I have it open here, this is part of your assignment as well. Excellent review on 13 through 21, and the answers are at the bottom, just like the weekend's homework. So you'll find it down there. If you don't, then you did something wrong, right? So I think we'll do one from here, but let's look at number 10, just because I know this one is a tiny little solution area. All right, so number 10. Zoom in on this. So let's graph all three of these. Okay, x is greater than -1. Okay, is this a dotted or solid? Yeah, why is it dotted? There's no equal, okay. Is this, Ethan, as he's drawing there, is this a vertical or a horizontal line? X equals a number. It is vertical, there you go. -1, so dotted looks like this. There you go. I know we're not going to shade it all right now just because I don't want to put shades everywhere, but it says x is greater than -1. Do I shade to the right or the left? To the right, bigger than -1, right? So to the right of that. All right, y is greater or equal to 2 to the x. Does this shift anywhere? No, right? So it's right there at, where does it start? 0. There you go, 0, 1. And then we know it goes like this. So, yeah, solid, right? Goes like this, and there we go. There we go. And I know that you know that we shade where? Above. Okay. All right, this next one. Y is less than or equal to 1 minus x. How do I like to rewrite this? You put so this would be what? X minus 1? Negative x. Don't change it. Negative x is this positive 1? It should still be positive 1, right? So negative x plus 1. All right, so how do I graph this? Goes up 1, and then has a negative slope. So down 1, over 1, up 1, back 1, however you want to do that. And it's solid as well. Okay, so do that. All right, there you go. Now let's look and see where we shade. It's to the right of -1. It's right of that dotted line. It's above the curve, and it's below this line. So where do I shade? Where does it triple up, I guess? That little thing right there. So right there. Okay. Okay, now we got to pick a point. Or 2. Or 3. We could pick 50,000. Where? Okay, where? -0.5, comma, I would say 1 for sure, because I know that goes down because it starts at 0, 1. -5, 1. -0.5, 1. What's another one? Well, -2, 1. It's not in the shade, though. Right, it's not in the shade. Because it stops right there, right? Just now, little turn. Negative. Well, -2 is over here. How about -0.27351? So that's kind of close there. I don't know. What do you think? Okay, well, let's go where? Let's go up. How much? 1.1, I guess. I would say that's safely in there. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so do we understand the assignment as far as what we have to do? Yeah. We graph it, whether it's dotted or solid, and then we shade where they would overlap. And I think all of these graphs, for the most part, we know how to graph. And I know, just because it's right here, y is greater than, let's rewrite this. Y is greater than what? negative absolute value of x plus 3. So 0 left, up 3. So, in fact, I'm going to rewrite this one as well. Y is less than or equal to negative x plus 3. And then they're pretty easy graphs to graph, I think. It's just a matter of shading. Okay, so I think we understand it. It's just a matter of graphing it correctly. Okay, turn it over to this side, and let's set up number 13. Good review, because we have a quiz this week. When's our quiz?
It is block day.
It is block day. And Friday. Okay. Okay, so number 13. I don't know. Add 17. So add 17, add 17. So 2, absolute value of x plus 3 is less than 12. Okay. Divided by 2. So absolute value of x plus 3 is less than 6. Okay, now we need to set up this absolute value. I am crossing my fingers, crossing my toes. You can't see it, but I'm crossing my toes. How do we set this up? X plus 3 equals negative 6 and equals positive 6? Okay, less than. So what does that mean? There you go. Less than, it's a sandwich. It's an and problem. Less than, it's an and problem. So where do we sandwich this in between? Good, negative 6 and 6. So negative 6, this, x 3, and 6. That's your setup. It's sandwiched between the two. And then we solve for x. So we do what? Subtract 3 everywhere. Okay, and then we'll put this in interval notation as well. So what do we have? Negative 9, less than, x is 0, less than 3, right? So from x's perspective, it's bigger than 9, opens up to the bigger, right? Bigger than 9 and less than 3 at the same time. So how do I write that in interval notation? Negative curved, negative 9. And there we go. Okay, there you go. That's it. Okay, let me actually do one more just because. All right. So 14, what do we do? Subtract 100. Okay, subtract 100, subtract 100. So we still have negative 3 there. X plus 11 is less than or equal to negative. Well, I guess negative 72. Okay. Big number is relative. Hey, Mo's 1,000,001 is a big number. But 1,000,001 could be small compared to 10 million. Okay. So now we do what? Divide by negative 3. What was that word you said? Divide by a negative? Flip the sign. Okay. So absolute value x plus 11 is now greater or equal to 24. Okay, now we have to set this up correctly to get our answers. So what type of problem is this? Great or. So an or, what other keyword are we're thinking if it's a split it? Split it. Okay, so our setup, and this is where we forget how to do it, but just for our setup, we know we split it. Okay, so this is negative 24, and this is 24. This is just for the setup. This is not the solution. You can't see. So just for the setup, it's split. So we're looking at this. And that's how we set it up. This is what we write when we set it up. This is not the solution. Okay, so this helps us set it up. So this x plus 11, how do we write this right here? How do we write this? Because actually we did this. This is the way we did it before. So I'll do this one first. So x plus 11 is what? greater or equal to 24, greater or equal to 24, or this x plus 11 is less than or equal to negative 24, less than or equal to negative 24. That's your setup. Okay, now forget that. That's not part of any kind of solution. Now we answer it. Subtract 11, x is greater or equal to what? 13, or subtract 11, x is less than or equal to negative 35. Then writing this in interval notation, less than negative 35, got to do small than big, right? Negative infinity all the way to negative 35 square curved. There we go. Union with x is bigger or equal to 13. 13 to infinity, and there we go. And that